Today I want to share with you guys a bit of game industry futurism that I've been thinking about since the 90s. I think it's something that a lot of us that want to propel the industry forward and do deeper, cooler things, maybe some of the things that fantastical movies like Ready Player One try to do in the game industry. And I want to talk about one of those things. And that thing is physicalized game objects, or you could call them playable digital collectibles or playable NFTs. Yes, we need a better word for all that. Suggestions welcome. But the idea is game objects that are not as limited as they are right now, game objects that behave like real-world objects in many cool ways. And I believe that there's a lot of future gameplay and cool stuff based upon this, right? And I believe that there's also great revenue streams that make money for game studios, make money for players, and in a non-heavy-duty, non-onerous way. Something that makes something so social and so popular that little tiny bits of money power it, right? So I think that there's need money to make products, right? So this is a great, cool thing that could pay for itself, right? So let me give you a couple examples based upon some real world kinds of things. Let's just imagine, for example, that Disney and McDonald's do a Mandalorian Happy Meal special. For all I know, there is such a thing. I don't eat at McDonald's so much. And let's say every time you get the Happy Meal, you get a piece of cool Mandalorian minifigure and Beskar armor, right? So maybe the first time you go, you get some shoulder plates, right? Then the second time you go, oh, I got the chest piece. Third time, finally I got the legs and the arms, right? And then later I got the helmet, right? But I'm going to keep going because I want the other helmet and I want the different insignia on the arm. So I keep going and I trade with my friends or with my kids or whatever, right? That's cool, right? It's a cool physical world game. I've got a little trading going on, and when I'm done with it, I can put the minifig, if it's nicely made, on my office shelf or whatever and be like, isn't it cool, right? If I'm really a big nerd, I could kit bash it with two of them and be like, oh, where did you get that one with that? And I'm like, well, I got the blaster off of this model kit and glued it in there and I made my own thing, or added a cape, right? We love stuff like that, right? That ability to create and extend and show off to our friends, right? If I was a little kid, I could play with my Mandalorian minifig. Okay, so that's a real-world product, and I can do all of these physicalized things with it, okay? Now let me give you another example that's a little closer to the bone of games, and I'm going to give you both the good side and the sad side of it. So the good side is, let's pretend it's the real world. I have this cool sword. Why? Because I'm involved in historical European fencing. I've trained in how to work the sword, right? The sword itself is beautiful, right? And maybe, when my friends come over, I have it hanging up on the wall, right? Ta-da, right? And it's like, well, this is my starter sword. But a while later, I hear about this cool Toledo blacksmith, and I get a handmade sword to my specifications, my weight, my pommel, my insignia on the pommel, and balanced in the way that I like it, right? I can show it off, right? When my friends come over, I can have the sword there as a cool thing to look at. I could rewrap the grip because I don't like it. I want to change the pommel out, right? I want to change the guard out. I can do all those cool customizing things in a way. I could give it to a friend. I could loan it to a friend. I could trade it to a friend. I could go to a Renaissance fair, wear my sword, or maybe I'm going to order a dress sword that is more ornate like the one here, and wear that, right? I get to do that, right? If I joined a certain, clan or group within that Renaissance fair organization, I can put their emblem on my sword. I can put it on my cloak, etc., right? Now, let's pretend this real world example. That's pretty cool. So my hobby, my sport, my fencing sport is all tied together, right? I have community. I can do whatever. I don't use this sword anymore. I'll trade it to you. I'll give it to you. I can do all of those things, right? I might even become well known for this cool sword if I got something really handmade. I used to do a lot of blacksmithing, and let me tell you, people see you walking around with that cool handmade thing, they're going to be like, where'd you get that? Whatever. It's truly unique. There's only one of those things, for instance, right? Now let's take the video game example. I get this cool sword in the game. Maybe I can put a new skin on it to make it pretty. Well, when I go see my friends, when I hang out, when we're out having a pint, when I don't have my PlayStation or my PC nearby, I can't show it to them. It doesn't exist in my house. But what if I could bring it up on my mobile phone and be like, oh my God, look at this new thing. And they just released like a new emblem set. I'm going to add it. Like, do you want me to send you one? Or all of those kind of things, right? I can have kind of a cool social reality around my stuff, right? The stuff itself can also not just be cosmetic items within a game or a picture of something like a JPEG, right? It's truly playable. It might have unique skills on it. It's not just a skin, right? And I might be able to tune and customize. I could become a famous weaponsmith or gunsmith within a game, right? You need to go get one of those specials because Roger is the only guy who has the blueprint to craft that thing, or Roger's one of the guys. All of those cool kind of things. So let's not take away those behaviors we have in real life. Let's add them back into the game world. And I think this is a huge area of wish fulfillment for people. I'm not even really deep diving into the details right now. I think that there's excellent, wonderful gameplay to be done with it, cool social stuff, and of course there's money to be made with products that do that. That's stuff that game players want, right? So just a little slice of what I think is the future. We'll talk more about it soon.